What is going on everyone, Parsnip here, and today we are finally back with another Terraria video, and this time I wanted to go ahead and remake Felix's house. Now, as I was recording and searching for references of his house, I did notice that someone else has already done this idea, so not only did I want to improve his house, I had to make it different from the other person's remake, which was oddly hard as my first idea for the house was a wizard's tower, which is pretty much what the other person did. So throughout the video, you'll notice that I make a lot up as I go and change a lot along the way. The hardest part was actually putting the references from recent videos together to try to make the house as similar as possible. So I ended up just taking a bunch of pictures from the last episode to go ahead and make it as similar as I can. Now, anyone that watches the Terraria playthrough knows that by no means is this an exact copy, but I did try to keep it as similar as I could. Originally, I did want to put everything alike, furniture included, but after 2 hours when I was recording, I decided that this would take way too long. So I quickly gave up on that idea. To begin, the house was actually a mess. He destroyed some walls to fight Skeletron, put a nurse room on the side with stone that was really poorly built. So I just went ahead and decided, not to make it to the block. I also decided to go ahead and make some ground rules so the build wouldn't go way off of his. For starters, I did want to keep the huge tower. It doesn't mean I'll be using them just as NPCs rooms like he's doing, but the tower will indeed be there. Next up, I did also want to keep it similar with the materials. I don't want to change every single thing that he used, and what he uses is stone and wood, so I will be using those as well as a variety of different stones and wood. Pretty much it's gonna be the stone slabs and palm wood that will be different from his. Lastly, I did want it to represent him, so I will also be putting the Swedish flag colors as well as writing IKEA in the build. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started by replicating his base. Alright guys, we are back. As you saw, I ended up giving up on putting the furniture exactly alike like I mentioned before, as it was taking too much time, especially for something that I was just going to destroy. That being said, let's go ahead and get started with the remake. So you'll notice a couple of things as I'm building, and that's that I try to put furniture in between the building process because I do end up getting lazy when it comes to decorating, especially towards the end of a long build. For those of you that don't know, some of these builds do take quite some time. For example, this one in particular took a total of 6 hours and 57 minutes of recording. So to help me not completely butcher the decorations, I try to splash some in every now and then. I also waste a lot of time deciding on what to do, especially with the roofs, which is pretty odd coming from me, a person that does have guides on how to make roofs in Terraria. But I ended up doing what my girlfriend calls a Swedish samurai hat as the roof, and I do think it ends up looking pretty nice. So again guys, I'll be leaving you here for a bit, and I'll catch you all at the end of the video. And we are finally done. So the build is pretty much complete. I pondered on whether or not I should add details to the outside, or finishing touches is something around those lines like a cave to go ahead and make the entrance to his hell elevator and things like that. But I'm beat and I'll leave it at that. It's been a while since I've actually played Terraria, and there's just so many items, it's actually hard to remember it all. That made me take a little bit longer, especially accessories and things like that, as I really don't remember what's used for construction and whatnot. At one point I was counting blocks with other blocks instead of using the ruler, but completely forgot that a ruler existed. I would say about 20 usable NPC rooms. You could go ahead and change more. For example, the top of the towers, you can make it 2 more. You can also add some more. In Felix's build, he has a total of 19, so it is bigger in that aspect. And the main 9 rooms being all next to each other at the middle, while the rest are a bit more spread out along the build. I also did want some big open spaces for putting up armors and trophies, which I always think is a must in any main base. I played around a bit with the teleports just so you don't have to walk all the way up, as after a while it does get a bit tedious. And I also put 2 little towers on each side to serve as some sort of protection, as well as its aesthetics, as it does look good. Personally, I just put random stuff inside for the decorations. For example, I got the bubble machine that he put in the center of his base. I put it in one of the towers, but you can do whatever you want with it pretty much. And lastly, I did want to put my own touch on it. I know he has nothing like a spaceship, a flying ship, or a balloon, but I did want to add a docking station, for example, at the middle of the tower. I wanted to not make it a complete straight pull up. It feels too boring for that to happen, so I decided to make some sort of a dock for flying ships, I suppose. But instead of a flying ship, I went ahead and put a balloon, as I thought it was the simplest. You know, I didn't want it to stand out too much and take away from the main build. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's truly been a while since I made a Terraria video, and I do hope you all enjoy it. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.